Hello everyone, so this is GS Mains Paper 1, August 2017, Part 2. So the first topic for today and the seventh topic overall is crime and film conundrum. So what is this conundrum? Conundrum means confusion. So what is the issue? So the issue is if someone generates violence on the basis of a book or a film, it's a crime that we must condemn, not the book or the film, right? So understand this. Similarly, if somebody is generating a violence after seeing a book or after getting inspired from a film, so it doesn't mean we'll start banning that book or banning that particular film, right? So there are lots of issues related to it. See, whenever somebody smokes in a film, right, we see a statutory warning that cigarette smoking is injurious to health, right? What about eve teasing? We also show that, right? We also show that in film. So why don't you show statutory warning that eve teasing is not allowed or eve teasing is not at all promoted by this movie, right? If you start showing each and everything by a statutory warning, now it won't serve the purpose, right? I will tell you what happened because of this. There is a very renowned director, Woody Allen, I guess, and there was a movie of his, and the actress of that particular movie got Oscar. I don't remember the name. The name was, I think, something Blue Jasmine or something. So he didn't allow that particular movie to release in India because of the statutory warning thing only. So the crux of the issue is you don't keep on doing all these kind of stupid things. Stop the crime. Stop all these things from happening, right? Just because movies are the things which people follow a lot. Because of that, you start putting all these kind of things. You start putting restrictions on films or books. It won't serve the purpose at all, right? So it's not like that. It's all about mentality. It has nothing to do with film or books. Yeah, it does only affect your behavior to a certain extent, but still the thing is you have to control the crime because books and films generally depict what is happening in your society, right? Fine. So that is the whole thing, right? So if someone generates violence on the basis of a book or a film, it's a crime that we must condemn, and we must do away with the statutory warning thing at all, because I really believe that it's stupidity, nothing at all. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is POCSO and sexual violence within marriage. Again, this is a very important because it is GS Mains Paper 1 also, because women issue is involved. It is GS Mains Paper 2 also, because POCSO Act is involved. So there's a contradiction. There's a contradiction which is going on between POCSO and marital rape exception given in IPC. So we'll understand this. Understand this issue, very important issue. So the thing is, what the article is saying is that there should not be any blind exemption to sexual violence within marriage. Right now, central government has taken a stance that if the thing is there is no such thing as sexual violence within marriage, right? And if you start, curbing, or that is the stand of the government, which I'm telling you right now. So if we start curbing sexual violence within marriage, so it will it will harm the institution of marriage. That is more or less the stance of the central government, which is a very derogatory kind of a stance. I should not be saying this term, but I am saying that because it is my personal opinion, right? So the thing is, but let's now come to the article. The article is saying that there should not be any blind exemption to sexual violence within marriage. Now let's see where is the contradiction between POCSO, that is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, and marital rape exception in IPC. Try to understand this contradiction. So there is a contradiction between POCSO Act 2012, which defines child as a person below 18 years. These kind of questions do come, that who is an adolescent, who is a child. So according to POCSO Act, a child is below 18 years. So the thing is, the contradiction between POCSO Act 2012, which defines child as a person below 18 years, and the marital rape exception in IPC, which states that sexual intercourse between a man and his wife who is not under 15 years is not rape. So the marital rape exception clause in IPC is saying that sexual intercourse between a man and his wife who is not under 15 years. So there is a gap between, gap from 15 to 18, right? So again, the thing is, what is happening? If a girl, suppose she is between 15 to 18 and she is married, right? And she is involved in sexual intercourse, right? But the thing is, that is a marital rape. That was against her wish, right? So then what will happen? That also lies in the ambit of POCSO Act, right? Because she is a child. She is between 15 and 18. So that particular man can be prosecuted under POCSO Act. But the exception is provided under IPC. So what to do? So again, the thing is, when such contradiction comes under picture now, or when such contradiction arises, so there is a section in POCSO Act which says that Section 42A of POCSO Act provides that in case of inconsistency with the provision of any other law, POCSO Act will override. So that means in the case of a woman or a child or a girl who is between 15 to 18 and who has suffered from this marital rape, right? So in that case, she can take the course of POCSO Act and she will get justice. So that is the whole thing. So that exception has been overridden by Section 42A of POCSO Act. Let's talk about Sargasso Sea. Sargasso Sea is a very intriguing kind of a sea because it is related somewhat near to Bermuda Triangle, right? If I'm not wrong. But the thing is, what is the issue with Sargasso Sea? Sargasso Sea has a very high salinity. It is located near North American coast, right? In the North Atlantic region. So let's talk about Sargasso Sea. So Sargasso Sea is the only sea in the world which is without any land boundaries. Sea means it has to have a land boundary somewhere or the other. But remember this, Sargasso Sea is the only sea in the world without land boundary. And so then what is defining the boundary of Sargasso Sea? How will you know where Sargasso Sea ends? So Sargasso Sea's boundary are defined by its ocean currents. So what are those ocean currents? So it lies within North. The thing is, first of all, let's talk about its ocean current. So it is, what do you say? North Atlantic Drift lies to the north of Sargasso Sea. Canary Current lies to the east. North Equatorial Current lies to the south. And Gulf Stream lies to the west. So we know Gulf Stream is a warm current, right? Okay, so Gulf Stream is a famous current, right? So the thing is warm ocean current. There are different things like ocean currents and all those things. So we'll talk about all those things also later on. But right now, just understand that Sargasso Sea's boundaries are defined by these ocean currents. What were those ocean currents? North Atlantic Drift in the north, Canary Current in the east, North Equatorial Current in the south, and Gulf Stream in the west. The thing is, it lies between, and because of these four currents, now they form a gyre or gyre, whatever you want to say, a gyre. There are the thing is whatever you want to say. So GYRE. So it lies between North Atlantic subtropical gyre, and it is home to free floating seaweed which is called sargassum. Now the thing is, it has a very high salinity. Why? What is the reason? See, that particular area of Sargasso Sea is very, very silent, very peaceful because less intermixing of water is allowed. And see, understand this concept. It is a very common concept. Which region will have a high salinity? So for high salinity, if the water is highly saline, so what does it mean? Lots and lots of evaporation of water must be going on, and evaporation happens when that area is warm region, right? So let's talk about all the reasons for high salinity. And also high salinity will also be there in the case when intermixing is less. If you have more quantity of water, then what will happen? Concentration of salt will reduce, so salinity will be low. So if you are not allowing intermixing of water, then salinity will increase, right? So what are the reasons for high salinity? First reason is less intermixing due to virtual boundary created by ocean currents. So these ocean currents which are surrounding it from four sides, they are allowing less intermixing of waters. Second reason is less intermixing due to low wind condition, because it is a very silent zone which is surrounded by ocean currents. So that's why wind also facilitates evaporation, right? So since low wind condition is there, so that's why less intermixing will happen. The third reason for high salinity is Gulf Stream bringing high salinity water. The Gulf Stream, because it is a subtropical region. So Gulf Stream is bringing high salinity water, and also high temperature owing to subtropical location causing high evaporation. So these are the reasons for high salinity of Sargasso Sea. What is the interesting part about Sargasso Sea? That it is the only sea in the world which is not defined by land boundary but by its ocean currents, right? Fine. Now let's talk about earthquake and associated facts. First of all, 89% of the earthquake happens in two predominant regions. Just remember it. 89% of the earthquake in the whole world happens in two predominant regions. So first of all, that predominant region is Pacific Ring of Fire. So 68% of all earthquake happens in Pacific Ring of Fire, and 21% of all earthquakes happens in Mid-World Mountain Belt. What are those Mid-World Mountain Belt? Alpine, Caucasus to Caspian, Himalayan mountains and adjoining areas. So 89% of the earthquakes are happening in Pacific Ring of Fire and Mid-World Mountain Belt. Now again, one thing which you need to understand is there are only 4 seismic zones in India, zone 2 to 5, and zone 5 is most active. There is no zone 1 in India. Okay, now the thing is, there is one question. See, we all know why earthquake happens in Peninsular, means Himalayas, right? Plate collision and all those things. But why earthquakes happens in peninsular India? What is the reason for it? There is no plate collision, right? It is in the mid of Indo-Australian plate, and a Eurasian plate is far away. So it is in the mid. So what is the reason for earthquake happening in peninsular India? So there are 3 main reasons. First reason is Possible collision of Indian and Eurasian plate has generated stresses not only at boundaries but also inside plate. So these Indian and Eurasian plate are colliding against each other, right? So the thing is, what is happening? Stresses are developed at the boundaries but also in the mid portions, but also in the inside area, right? Heat is released and that heat is getting transmitted to other areas also, and inside plate is also getting deformed to a certain extent. So that's why earthquake happens in peninsular India. First reason. Second reason is maybe there is a probability that Indian plate has broken from middle, right? Broken from a certain region in the middle. So that possible breaking up of Indian plate has also caused earthquake in peninsular India. Third region is reservoir induced earthquake, right? So that is Koyana Dam. So that was an example of reservoir induced earthquake. That is a, what do you say? Reservoir induced seismicity, we also call it. So that is a reservoir induced earthquake, man-made phenomena. So these were the reasons, and this is earthquake and associated facts. Now let's talk about coal bearing strata in India. Now the thing is, whenever this kind of question comes to different kind of coals or geological classification of coals, then we start writing about anthracite, bituminous, lignite and pit. No, that is not the geological classification of coal. So if somebody asks you about coal bearing strata in India or geological classification of coal, so there are two geological classification. First is Gondwana coals of Permian. Permian is a time period, right? It is a time period of Carboniferous era. Gondwana coals of Permian, and second is tertiary coals of Eocene. Now the thing is, what you have to understand is this Gondwana coals of Permian. Permian is a much older age as compared to Eocene. Eocene lies in tertiary era, and Permian is a, what do you say, period of Carboniferous age. So again, since this Gondwana coal is much older, so it has much higher quality as compared to tertiary coals, right? And approximately 98% of the coals in India are Gondwana coals. Where are they found? Or where are they located? They are located in the river valleys of Damodar, Mahanadi, Godavari, etc. And where are these tertiary coals, which are of lower quality, located? So these tertiary coal, in this tertiary coals, lignite predominates. We know there are 4 different types of coal. So in this tertiary coals, lignite predominates. And where are they found? Assam, Kashmir and Rajasthan. So that was about geological classification of coal bearing strata of India. So I will keep until here only, and in the next class we will complete this GS mains paper 1, and in the next class we'll talk about triple talaq, and we'll talk about Saint Teresa and what is her role and what is the relationship between Saint Teresa and Baba Amte. Then we'll talk about Kapus community of Andhra Pradesh, and then we'll talk about women's different role since independence. So all these things we'll talk about in the next lecture, which will be the concluding lecture for August, right? Thank you.